So hello everyone, welcome to the fourth part in our series on enumerations, and in this video I'm going to give you one technique we can use to gain a little more assurance that a given variable is a valid element of a custom enumeration that we've created ourselves. Now it's not a foolproof way, but it will give us a little more confidence. So let's go straight into the Visual Basic Editor. And we can see here we've got our enumeration for our fruits, which we called eFruits. And what we're going to do is we're going to build a function. We're going to say public function is fruit. And we're going to allow this to take in a variable of type variant. So by val possible fruit as variant. And the return value is going to be of type Boolean. Now we're going to default and assume that any value passed in is not a valid fruit. So we'll say is fruit equals false. That's our default position. And when we are checking this possible fruit, there are four things that we are going to check, actually there are three things that we are going to check. We're going to check that it is either an integer or a long variable type. Either of those two will be valid. And next we're going to check that the value of the possible fruit lies in between the first and last elements of our eFruits enumeration. So we're going to check that the value of the possible fruit is greater than or equal to the first element and less than or equal to the last element. Okay, so let's build that check using an if block. We'll say if then, and our conditions are going to be the var type of possible fruit equals VB integer, or the var type of possible fruit is of type long. We're also going to need that a few conditions on the value. So let's put this into a bracket just to make it a little bit more clear what's going on. So this is our first condition there, up to checking whether it's an integer or long. And the next condition is the AND condition, and we're going to look at the value now. We're going to say eFruits dot first, so we're going to use the hidden elements in our enumeration. It's going to be less than or equal to possible fruit, and the value of possible fruit is going to be less than or equal to eFruit dot last. So again, using a hidden element of our enumeration. And if all of these conditions are satisfied, then we are going to say is fruit equals true. Okay, now one possible place where such a check won't work is if we have non-sequential elements in our enumeration. So if our enumeration had values of 0, 1, 2 and then jumped straight to a value of 8, then we could put in a variant with value 5 and that would pass our checks. So it's not foolproof, but it will give us a little more confidence that a given variable is an element of our enumeration, and it's especially the case if we've got a enumeration which is in sequential order. Okay, let's build a subroutine to actually test this. Let's say public sub verify enum variables, let's call it, and we'll say dim valid fruit as eFruit and dim valid fruit 2 as variant and dim silly fruit as a variant as well. Let's just tidy up the alignment on these, and let's assign some values to these variables. We'll say valid fruit equals eFruit dot, let's say it's an apple, let's say valid fruit 2, give it a value of 2, so that's a pear, and silly fruit, let's say that this is an orange, and that's a string. Okay, Next we'll add some code just to print the value of these to the immediate window. Okay, so let's actually try running this subroutine and see what we can see in the immediate window. We'll click on the play button and then Control and G to open up the immediate window. And we can see that our valid fruit has a value of true. It is valid, we've assigned a sensible value to it. Our valid fruit 2, which we manually gave a value of 2, again, that's a valid fruit that has a return value of true. And our silly fruit, which is in orange, has a return value which is false. Let's clear out the immediate window. And I'm actually just going to pop in a breakpoint just here so that we can just take a look in the locals window and just inspect the types of variables that these things actually get assigned. So let's run that up to our breakpoint and let's go to view, locals window, and we can see that valid fruit has a type eFruit. Valid fruit 2 is actually an integer, it's not a long, but our check allows for an integer here, so that's perfectly fine. And silly fruit has a value orange, which is a variant string, and that's not valid, it's not sensible, so our return value from our function is false for that one, and that's exactly what we're expecting. Okay, one thing to notice as well, our valid fruit here has a value which is underscore first, rather than a value which is an apple, and that's perfectly fine because they both share the same value, which is 0, and any checks against it will be fine. It's just what we are seeing in the immediate window, obviously because first occurs before apple. Now if we wanted to fix that, we could just swap the order of these two around. It wouldn't make much of a difference. In fact, do you know what, let's actually do that now quickly. Let's stop the execution here. And let's go put the first in there. Let's compile our code and let's put a breakpoint in here again. Let's run up to that breakpoint and let's view the locals window, and we can see that this time valid fruit gets a value of apple. So it really doesn't matter. It gives you a little more information here. So it might actually be better to put your first element after the actual first element that you want to use. Okay, I'm going to stop the code execution there, and that's it for this video.